Hey guys, in talking about the test of darkness that God sometimes takes us through, yesterday we spoke about Job who passed an incredible test. But sometimes we look at the test and we think that there must be something sinister behind it. I want to tell you, I think that a lot of the tests happen to us not because of sin, not because God is trying to develop character, but simply because we live in a messed up, dark, tragic world. You see, the Garden of Eden changed everything. When Adam and Eve messed up, darkness came into the world. Up until then, the light of God's presence shone, and it was just the most amazing situation. But sin crept in there. Man's ego came alive, and God abandoned man in a sense that he could not fellowship with him openly there. He longed for him, he desired for him, and he had to now come up with a way to restore that relationship with him. That's what the cross and the shed blood of Jesus is all about. But sometimes some of the tests we go through are just because we live in a fallen world. Don't look beyond that. Sometimes bad things happen to good people, and people ask me that all the time. Why does that happen? Why do bad things happen to good people? We thought that good people would be looked after and preserved and protected by God. Well, I don't know. But this I do know, that even though bad things happen to good people, God is still good. We all know that. And we quote that so often, do we not? We sing songs about the goodness of God despite our circumstances. God is still good, even when it looks like he's not. Now, in these tests that we go through in this dark, miserable planet in which we live, there are beautiful aspects to this planet, by the way, but there are times when we go through dark phases simply because we live in a dark, messed up world. I guess what we really need right now is a measure of discernment. We need to discern whether this is a test that God has taken us through. We need to be able to discern whether this darkness is something that has come upon me because I've messed up. I've gone against the ways of God. I've maybe gone against the will of God. And maybe the storm or the darkness that I am going through is to my own credit. I need to own that thing. But sometimes we go through tests simply because it's a dark place in which we live. I wonder if the world in which you live is dark. I know for some people it is. I think of people in persecuted countries. Their light shines, man. Even in the midst of the darkness, those people's light of Christ is shining bright. And I'm saying, what is it that helps those people? What is it that makes those people's light shine so bright that even in the midst of the darkness of the world, their light continues to shine? They have found the secret of the presence of God. They've found the secret of understanding that God is not some kind of Mickey Mouse God who's there to make us comfortable. God is here to achieve his ends for this world, and it's a dark place. But while it's dark, that's our environment for us to shine. We do live in darkness. Jesus told us that. That's why he calls us the light of the world. And there are people probably that you know, in situations that you work in, schools that you go to, families that you know, communities that you work around that are in absolute darkness. People, at a time like this, don't run from the darkness. Our mandate from God is to be light into this dark world and to let the light of Christ shine from us. Some of us are saying, I just want to live in the light. I wish that was possible. But sometimes, because of the nature of the world, we live in dark spaces. Let your light shine so that your good works and the works of the people that you fellowship with can be seen by the world around you in all its darkness and glorify God who is in heaven. It's dark out there. It's really dark sometimes. And I work in an environment here where there's a lot of light, but man, there's a lot of darkness in people's lives. There's darknesses that come from the injustices of this world. There's darkness that comes from the unfairness of life, from the practices of evil and wicked men and women. There are darknesses out there that come from that. Don't run from them, people. Run to them, because they need your light to shine into that. Don't turn around and head out of there and say, I'm heading for the light. No, you're not. Turn around and shine your light of God's goodness and grace and kindness and mercy into that dark world, because that's the mandate that Jesus has given to us. Let's do that. Not just today, tomorrow, the next day. Let's develop a pattern of knowing how to manage the darkness by shining our light. Oh, God will get a lot of glory out of that. You have a great day. Bye-bye.